Now Trudeau wants to attack the very entrepreneurs and investors that create those jobs with a 66% tax on our small businesses, our home builders, our farmers, and our doctors. This is insane. Not only do common sense conservatives oppose it, when I'm Prime Minister, within 60 days, we will create a Bring It Home Tax Reform Commission that will have a 3-point mandate.
Oh, hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's episode, I'm releasing a big part 2 of my voice regarding the increase of inclusion rate in our capital gains. I'll give you the latest upgrade and I'm gonna answer and comment the questions and the most interesting statements made on our videos. So without further ado, buckle up.
The housing that's unaffordable, I think I read that the average, you have to have an income of about $200K a year to be able to afford an average home in Canada right now.
And they consider that on the tax. If you're in Ontario, I'm writing about this for next week, but I have it in front of me just so I get the numbers right. The highest tax rate in Canada is at $246,000, so not that much above the $200,000, and you're getting taxed at 53.5%, and that's up from 46% in 2011, and that's 77 to 18.5% above every major country globally. And so,
man, I didn't realize there's that much of a gap.
And so now you're taxed at the highest rate if you're, and in order to qualify to buy a home. And so you just can't get there. It's impossible now. It is almost completely impossible to own a home as a young person.
Yep, it's almost impossible to buy a home if you are not a high-income earner in Canada. God, that's another topic. So, what are the specific changes proposed by the government? Great question. Let's take a test to figure it out. First question, do you frame a business? Second question, do you possess land, a house, stocks, or guns? Third question, if your previous answer was yes, did you in paper over 250,000 Canadian dollars in 1 year? If the answer to all the previous questions were no, congratulations, you don't even have to bother about this topic anymore. So move on with your life. But in case you're wondering, or you still are a little bit insecure of that, grab a cup and listen to some of the principal misconceptions regarding this topic. The government is not changing a principal resident exemption, meaning that if you're one of those fortunate with a house, you will pay taxes. The big government is not making your life after realization, meaning that until you don't actually sell, you won't pay taxes. The big government is not averaging multiple years, meaning that if you do not make more than 252 in 1 year, you won't pay more taxes. The government is repeating that you did not split your 250K with your business if you have one. By the way, that has never been legally possible. The government is not assessing based on time or other distinctions, meaning that it does not matter for how long or in what kind of things you have your money. You won't pay more taxes for that. And finally, the government will not make any exemptions for corporation, meaning that if you have a business or you are a shareholder in a corporation, the government is not giving you more chances that you already have. Let us remember that business owners, it doesn't matter the size, especially the small ones, and corporations already have an incredible amount of tax advantage that you and me as regular employees do not have. If you don't believe me, as always, take a look into the following video. Corporations have real tax credits. They have a total of 13 tax credits. I might go from zero emission technology, dashing through an investment tax credit, until the famous carbon rebate tax. And the key difference between corporations' tax credit and our tax credit as individuals is that corporations apply them after they deduct expenses, and us, we apply them before our expenses because we are not allowed to deduct expenses, and they even have the audacity to play a victim looking for more privileges unbelievable. By the time I'm recording this video, if we Google the income tax act of Canada and then look for the taxable capital gains, the rate has now changed. It is still 1.5, and there is anything regarding big exemption either. No amendments, no new limits or additions. The principle of legality taxation, it says that no tax can be levied on a person without the tax having been provided or by statute. In other words, if it's not in law, it is not legal.
I'll give you a really interesting perspective on some of the tax changes. A good friend of mine, Kim Moody's been pretty vocal, and he's well above my pay grade in regards to taxation. But okay, so did you know in the tax code, if you're, let's say, a cocaine dealer, okay, and you have an obligation to report that income on tax, okay, and so you're breaking the law, not just by selling cocaine, but by not paying the taxes on the profits you're making. Now, legally, do you think that you're able to claim your expenses? If, let's say, you were a cocaine dealer and you went and
you claimed it,
and you said, okay, I gotta claim my cartel shipping costs and my distribution costs. Are you legally,
all the baseball bats they own?
Are you able to claim that on as a deduction? You are.
Yeah.
Come on.
Absolutely, you are. 100%.
Would they actually? Someone actually, like, let's say there's a criminal dealing cocaine that actually did his taxes properly.
There are individuals who have approached tax experts about the tax issues from proceeds of crime. Now, okay, let's just as a foundation. So let's say you are and there are certain jurisdictions that are stopping Airbnb. Right? You can't, I think it's Kelowna is one of them.
Kelowna is a big one, yeah.
Yeah. So you cannot do Airbnb. And let's say you bought 2 or 3 condo units.
To do that.
Yeah. Right? And, I love Kelowna. And a lot of people can't afford to go to Kelowna in summertime and buy a place.
Yeah.
It's just the average person, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say you go out and you buy a couple of Airbnb, a couple of condos or one condo and you Airbnb it. Now the building says there's no more Airbnbs. Okay, and you still say, you know what? I'll pay the fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll just do Airbnb. The new government legislation, the changes here that they're proposing, will, if the unit holder, if the condo board says no, and you're in a building that says no Airbnb, and you still do it, you are legally not able to claim those expenses. But you have to pay tax. You still have to pay tax on the revenue that you're getting from the Airbnb, but you're not allowed to claim the expenses. So you pay full tax rate on the revenue, and you can't claim the expenses. So you're a cocaine dealer, you're better off with a tax code under the Trudeau government than an Airbnb person in Kelowna. This is the type of stuff that people don't know about. I didn't know about it. It's shocking.
Oh, wow. I didn't know about that as well. But let's see if our middle friend is actually saying the truth or is gapping. So let's do a little bit of research. First, we go to Ganley, which is a platform where we can find some case law. Then, we will filter the courts in order to hear the most relevant ones regarding the topic, the best court of Canada and the Supreme Court of Canada. And look at that. Actually, the Supreme Court of Canada has said something about deductions proceeding from crimes. They can say in this case versus a Queen in 2010, where the Justice Robert J. Hogan made some observations in paragraph 11, stating that the deductions are valid if the expenses were made in order to earn income. You know the business is derived in nature. Wow. And this position have been upheld by the courts in other numerous cases. As we can see in the same paragraph, therefore, we can conclude that the dude with the glasses was not lying. You can actually deduct your yearly experience when you are distributing cocaine to other provinces. Well, here's the catch. It was not the government of Trudeau who took this position. It was the justices of Canada in the Supreme Court. The judicial power is different from the executive power. There's a reference in paragraph 13 from apparently a company from British Columbia where the Supreme Court of Canada confirms what the previous dude said. So what about the second statement regarding Airbnb? It seems like Kelowna has approved this year to eliminate most on the short-term rentals such as Airbnb, according to the first result from our Google search. Now, let's see what the city government has to say about that.
Okay.
In the webpage, the overview states that they are actually reviewing the new applications for short-term rentals. But if you had one already, either as a secondary use, you are allowed. If you Airbnb, if you still have the permits. They also state that it can be permitted under special circumstances. The webpage informed us about the study regarding the estimate unlicensed places. Interesting. Finally, let's look from the ban in deduction regarding the Airbnbs. Our Google research actually show us that the feds proposed to Congress to not allow any deductions for the short-term rentals in order to get more revenue. 170 million over a 5-year period. We can arrive to that conclusion after this little investigation that Bidu was not lying at all. But then I tell you, one is my probably that guy. Probably you don't care, because guess what is my channel? Go hit me, trace the slapper. First, he's phrasing himself as middle class, casually going to Kelowna in the long weekend. Let's go on Victoria Day and just, casually buy 2 or 3 condos. A real middle class can maybe afford to rent a nosy 100 years old condo in Langley. Oh yeah, last time that I went, I bought like Senate Gomos as well. Like a regular dude working in Vancouver. Laughing at each other. Second, the guy has the audacity to upload that he doesn't care about the rules. He will just predefine, just like the majority of landlords, but increase the rent color downward and deploy victim the residential agency branch, actually doing its job and punishing the bad and abusive behavior from these dirty bastards. And that is exactly why the feds made this outrageous proposal, because these kind of people don't care about the fines. They don't care about being licensed. For the record, I'm not justifying that your local drug dealer can deduct his production costs from its income tax return, and the green man not doing legal business cannot. The contrast, as he stated, is low-minded, and the state is not applying the law equally. The real solution is to them the right to deduct the expenses from both activities, so the feds can collect even more money in tax. Everybody's happy.
Are you serious?
And here's the thing too, is that maybe that math works out. I don't know. I can't check out that math right now of if it generates 20 billion. But the thing I know about wealthy and rich people is they're extremely wise, extremely diligent, and very picky on where they put their money.
Find their way to move.
Find their way. Now this takes it into effect in the middle of, I think it's June 25th is the new capital gains. And you and I were talking to a good, brilliant tax lawyer friend of ours. And something he was saying was their clients are blitzing to move their money around and sell before the date comes, because they're already figuring out how to move the money around so that they don't have to pay these extra taxes to a government that's irresponsibly spending their money.
Yeah.
Like it's a bad situation, and they're going to find ways to move it out. And you might generate this revenue in year 1, maybe year 2. Eventually, I'll bet you that revenue is going to drop down from 20 billion to 15 billion to 10 billion to 9 billion, because they're not going to do it anymore. Why would you do it if you're going to be taxed for it? Like it makes no sense.
By the way, I just want to add this little clip because it's like, oh my god, they're nearly putting so much effort in order to pretend. Rich people are not smart. They're fucking stupid. And the law doesn't apply to them. In some cases, when they want to actually make money, they hire real smart people to tell them what to do. Those ones who doesn't listen to the expert are condemned to fail in the long term if they are regulars. Not like 1%. But some of them are too big to fear about going back to the streets. And it doesn't matter how many things they do or how stupid decisions they make, because they will find or illegal way to make others to pay for their stupidity.
Mr. Speaker, let's review what we've learned so far in question period today. First, the leader of the official opposition doesn't even understand how the capital gains inclusion rate works.
Yes, that's right.
That's a problem. Second, the leader of the official opposition disavows his own words in this House about capital gains. But probably the most important thing is that the average income in Carleton is $58,400. Their MP is not on the side of working people earning that wage in his own.
That's bottom line.
That is shameful.
Thank you so much for staying at the end of here. poor year is very charismatic. But the minister is totally right on this one. He doesn't know anything about taxes, especially how taxes work. But he's not alone. A lot of fellow countrymates have zero idea everybody is changes, and that is why here can control their emotions by saying misleading statements, like the one he made in Tabry. Please do not get offended, and let me know what you think in the comment section, because let us remind us that all of them, all the politicians, it doesn't matter if they are left or right, are our employees, and they actually do not care about us. They have been paying for doing nothing productive to the country, and they will be there as long as they could. And after that, their children will take their heirs of those vacant jobs. See you next time. Bye.